Yo, 2K24 is right around the corner and there's a lot of news coming out about it. Here are some of the top things I've heard, I know about. I'm not gonna make one video per each news segment like some YouTubers and then clickbait a title and an image that's fake AF. This is gonna be basically just everything I know about, things I know are real, things I know are fake, and some in-between type of stuff, all right? Let's get into it. iPod King Carter said on his Twitter, it's the exact same game. Apparently he was in an interview with somebody who had played it, or he had played the game early, one or the other, and they basically confirmed that it's exactly the same game. First of all, my opinion about this, how the hell would they know? Like, if they're only doing play now and they're not doing my career, like, who cares? There's so many animations that are like specific, like winning animations or top tier animations that a lot of the characters don't get in the my career and the play now, specifically. Like a lot of times people like in the my team area will know if an animation is good or not because, or if a jump shot's good or not because there'll be a character, there'll be a card that comes out, they'll be shooting lights out even though their stats aren't that high. And then they figure out like, oh, what jump shots he got? Okay, that jump shot's good. Cool, bring it over to my career. Let's see if it works there. You know what I mean? Because just certain animations are like, for whatever reason in 2K, just better. So, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe the game's gonna be exactly the same. I've never seen an exact copy and paste version of 2K before in all my years of playing. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't think they're gonna do that. There may be similar features, but I feel like it's gonna be different. Other news, Duke Dennis may have hinted that adrenaline is back in the game. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me, you know, whether it is or isn't. You know, I'm gonna still hoop regardless. I'm gonna be good at the game no matter what they put in the game, no matter what restrictions they got. And I understand why adrenaline is in the game, is to stop all the left, right, like over dribbling. Because if there is a way to just keep gaining momentum and get faster and faster, like let's say I go left, I gain a little speed. Then I go right and I've just doubled my speed again. Then I go left and I've just doubled my speed again. I go right, I've doubled my speed. If you keep doubling something, even if it's small, you keep multiplying it, right? Eventually you're gonna end up with this it's gonna be ridiculous to the eye, right? There were years where people would just keep spamming left and right so fast that there's no way a single person could guard them. And like 2K22 was like a good example of that. Like there wasn't really a lock one-on-one that can guard anybody in 2K20, like those 6'1" point guards in 2K22. It had to be a whole team to guard a 6'1". You had to have like the corner hedge out of the corner, the wing hedge off the wing, and everybody had to just sort of line up to just be ready to jump at these dudes, right? Center had to play high on pick and roll sometimes. Like everyone had to be there, right? It's ridiculous. You know, a lot of years where that type of stuff happens, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, I'm also not like super into adrenaline being in the game. Like I do think it's limiting for people just dribbling in general. Like I definitely felt like, you know, and I'll talk about animations and stuff too. Like ankle breakers, I felt like for me were way better back in 2K22. I felt like there were more moves to break ankles with, but more specifically about the adrenaline. I feel like a lot of the moves I use in 2K22 now take adrenaline in 2K23. And I used to break ankles like crazy in 2K22. I used to have people crying. I used to have people sliding across the floor from the 3-point line down to the paint. Like it was crazy. Like they were on a slip and slide, bro. It's things you've never seen before in basketball, never in your life. And now it takes adrenaline for me to do those things. You know, I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm gonna still play my game regardless. You know, so that's how I feel about that. Phantom posted on Twitter, if you knew what I knew about 2K, which was interpreted to mean something was fire, or something fire has been added to 2K, I guess. Well, okay, so yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of like no news, you know, to me. Like that's like maybe sort of kind of something might have been added, probably, you know, like what is that? You know what I mean? That's just like, I don't know. I mean, you're probably just trying to get views, probably just trying to like make a hot take, a hot post, get some attention. That's what it sounds like to me. There's nothing to really talk about there. So I'm not really gonna talk about it. It doesn't mean anything to me. There was some new badge concepts floating around on TikTok. Now, I'm about 99% sure these are fake. I just want to be clear. Like, I'm pretty sure these badges are not going to be in 2K24. But let's talk about them. So, team leader, it's a little fist, right? Mamba with the snake, reminiscent of Kobe. Ice wall, it's got those crystals. Extinguisher, it's got the fire extinguisher on it. And then terror, and it's got like a ghost with a scythe on it. That's really cool. I like the concept art for these badges. And I mean, because we don't know what these badges would do, I can't say whether I would or wouldn't like them in the game. But this does start an important conversation, right? Do we like the badges that are currently in 2K? Should there be some different badges in the game? What about the old badges, back in the day badges, right? How do we feel about all that stuff? One thing for me, I really feel like there used to be a lot more depth with athleticism in the game, and they used to pay more attention to how fast people were. Pardon me, I still got COVID, y'all. I'm trying to get better. I feel like, okay, so here's what I mean by that. Slashers used to have a badge called One Man Fast Break. If you were a pure slasher in 2K19, you could unlock Hall of Fame One Man Fast Break, right? And other builds didn't have that. Now, that was a badge specifically designed. If you got the ball in the fast break, it would make your ball handling better. It would make you faster. It'd make you a little stronger, make you jump a little higher. And then make your finishing just a little bit better. And your shooting a little bit better. All of your stats basically just a little bit better. You're a one-man fast break, literally, right? So that's really cool. I like that badge. I miss that badge a lot. I feel like they'd probably categorize that now as a playmaking badge over like a slashing badge, which would make sense by today's current standards of how they break things down into categories. But just to be clear, like, they also used to do this other thing too that I miss a lot. When builds were a little bit more like, you're not picking like your stats, like you're not like completely free like it is now in the builder. You're like picking like, I want to be a shot creator, I want to be a sharpshooter, I want to be a playmate. Like, you have those categories to pick from. They did a really good job of certain builds were more athletic than other builds. Certain builds were more skillful than other builds, right? Defenders were always more athletic than the skillful builds. Same with slashers. Slashers were always way more athletic than the skill builds. But the skillful builds, you always needed on your team because they could run an offense, right? Your point guards were probably something like a play shot, but you needed those fast, strong lockdowns on your team, man, to run the floor. Those slashers, bro, a pure slasher, nobody's catching a pure slasher. A 2K19 pure slasher. If you're the same height and you're like a sharpshooter, no way, no way, because sharpshooters have the least athleticism at all. Most shooting, least athleticism. That makes sense to me, right? No, a sharpshooter never catching a slasher on a fast break ever. In this game, it feels like anybody can catch anyone on a break. And the only reason people don't feel like that more often is because of dunk packages like quick drops, off one. Like, that's saving a lot of people from realizing, like, hey, there's no speed difference. Like, what happened to players like John Wall and prime Derrick Rose? You know what I mean? Prime John Wall, prime Russell Westbrook. How come people don't like see those speed differences in the game? I've made players with maxed out speed with ball, maxed out acceleration. And I'll be running alongside people that are just like 6'9s. And yeah, they're maxed out 6'9s, but like they're all their stats are in the 80s for speed. All mine's in the high 90s. And they are keeping up with me. I don't get it. I don't get that type of stuff, right? So all that to say, like, I feel like there's got to be some type of attention 2K makes in this future, in 2K24 to athleticism mattering, man. Because like Giannis is more athletic than Steph Curry. But that doesn't mean Steph Curry isn't as good of a player. Like, you need Steph Curry. Like, the Warriors need Steph Curry. Like, you wouldn't trade Steph Curry for Giannis, or vice versa. Like, both teams, like the Bucks are happy with Giannis. You know what I mean? Like, they are content. And the Warriors too are content with Steph. They're not trading for anyone. You know what I mean? But they can be different. You feel me? Like they can, like Steph Curry will outshoot Giannis while he's drunk with one leg, blindfolded. But like Giannis will never be caught in a million years. Giannis could do a handstand and run on his hands down the court. He probably still wouldn't get caught by Steph Curry. Like, it just is what it is. He's just athletically more gifted, right? Let him have that gift, right? Don't take that away from him just because like some of the 2K community complained or something. I don't really know when it happened. There was a big shift at some point where people were like mad about fast breaks or something like that. And then we threw all these goofball animations in the game where you throw it 10 feet up the court, but it soars out of bounds over your guy's head. Bro, if I build my dude to be like Megatron from the NFL, and I can't, you know what I mean? I can't adjust to the ball in the air and just like go get it. If I make my dude like athletic like LeBron, and I used to say this all the time, like if I have LeBron's athleticism, but I don't have any of his skill, I can't pass like him, I can't shoot like him, I can't pass like him, I don't have his IQ, right? Whatever, any of the intangibles, but all I can do is I'm athletic and I can dunk. That's it. I'm fast, I'm athletic, I can dunk. That's it. That's all the extent of my abilities. I want to be like far superior to everyone. I want to have that ability. If I want to make a player like that, and I make like a bunch of players every year. I make over 10 players every year. It's really expensive. And I just want to say I hope Ronnie 2K enjoys the Lamborghini that I single-handedly funded with my contributions this year. You know what I mean? But all I'm trying to say is if I want to make that type of build, why can't I? Why can't I have a gap in athleticism? And that's the one thing that really bothers me about 2Ks nowadays. It's like I can't gap people in athleticism. Everyone's the most athletic version of their player. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you have maximum speed or maximum strength or maximum vertical? You know what I mean? Or at least as high as the threshold like maxes out at, basically, before it stops being relevant, right? Like, most people won't go higher than an 82 vertical because that's where the dunk packages are and blah, 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 right? Okay, cool. We beat that one to death. Let's move on. ProPLAY motion in 2K24 confirmed by devs. So essentially they were saying that there's now going to be like real physics motions. Like, if the way they do animations is going to be based off of like how video cameras capture the footage of NBA players like moving. So like the way Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving actually crosses over, like that's going to be their actual crossover now in the game, as opposed to motion capping crossovers. I think they used to have the professor come in and motion cap a lot of stuff for them. Now it's going to be like actual like NBA stuff. And the one that no one's talking about that I would be the most excited for, personally, like, there's a lot that would be really exciting. I think faster crossovers, faster behind the back move, like the actual killer crossover. What you guys know, in the NBA, people actually have killer crossovers. Like, I don't know what happened to that. Like, I know everyone does step backs now. Like, that's all the rage, right? So you don't see people like really trying to burn people downhill as much. There's a lot more shiftiness in the NBA, which is cool. That's dope. Everyone's way more skillful now. But like, just because that exists now doesn't mean back in the day it didn't exist. Like a Grant Hill that hit you with one crossover, he's downhill, and that's a bang out. A Derrick Rose hit you with one crossover, he's downhill, that's a bang out. Or a crazy lay that is going in regardless. You know what I mean? That stuff excites me. The thing that I'm most excited about, I wonder if that means that contact dunks are gonna get fun again. Cause this year, I don't know if it's the dunk meter. I don't want to complain. I don't want there to be less of a skill gap, but just to keep it 100 with y'all, man, I don't know if I like the dunk meter. Not because like it's not skillful or something like that. Like, it takes skill. You got to time your dunks, and that adds a layer to it that wasn't there before. But like, the concept is great. It just doesn't feel good because I don't get to watch my dunk anymore. I'm watching the meter. I'm not watching my player like rise up and you know, I don't know. I don't get to see the actual dunk play out, is what I'm trying to say. I'm too busy focused on like making it happen. So I don't know. I would like to see like actual like real dunks like come back where you like really like, I don't care if it's like arcadey. It doesn't have to be realistic to me. I would like it to be a little arcadey, back at like 2K19 levels of like dunks to come back. You know, 2K20 levels of dunks to come back when it was fun to me. Crossplay confirmed by devs. Woo woo. All right, so the one I'm most excited about, I'm trying to find new teammates, man. I'm gonna be a point guard next year for sure. I don't know what type of point guard yet, but if you guys are on the PlayStation, on next gen and West Coast, or the Xbox now, hey, and you're on next gen and in the West Coast, honestly, if you're in the East Coast too, hit me up. But primarily the West Coast players, yo, if you are lockdown or a center and you actually can lock up on defense or grab boards and can space the floor. Oh my God, if you can space the floor and play defense, bro, I got you. Come to my team. We're gonna put a winning team together. We're gonna run it up in the Pro-Am. We're gonna run it up in the rec. We're gonna run it up in the park when we don't have enough players to run it up in the freaking Pro-Am and rec. Bro, we're gonna do great things. Just come hit me up. TCAT_333 _YouTube. Message me on there. I'll add you to a chat. The chat ain't even full of good players, man, just to be honest with you. The chat is full of like, some players are really good, some players are really trash. There's like levels to this. Just, if you see me trying to run, man, hit me up, get in the game with me. We'll play. We'll get it going, man. I need more locks, man. I need locks and centers. Locks and centers. Please bring them out, man. There's been a lot of clickbait and misinformation floating around. Guys, let's be honest. Nobody really knows anything about 2K24 yet for the most part. There's a lot to be determined. The devs are gonna come out real soon and give us a whole breakdown of like, oh, here's like, you know, park trailer, here's the My Career trailer, here's the My Team trailer, all that stuff, right? That's gonna be coming soon, probably later this month. I think I heard someone say August 14th. I don't really know, but I'm not holding my breath over anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be cool, but until I get my hands on it, you know, everything's to be determined. I really hope they have a demo builder this year. Oh my goodness. When I got to play with the demo builder for 2K21 current gen, I made one of the greatest builds I've ever made. My Derrick Rose build, my Prime D Rose build on 21 current gen, I was averaging like 30 points a game. I had over a 90 win percentage in every game mode. I wasn't losing. I was playing with randoms. I was carrying. Bro, I couldn't be stopped. It was one of the greatest builds ever. And it was a year where no one could shoot. So just the fact that it was a slasher and I was dunking over like 3 people made it even sweeter. They would pack the paint. I still getting contact dunks, man. I missed that year. That was a fun year. Well, I don't miss 2K21. That was actually a trash year, but I miss that build, I should say. Anyways, I really miss being able to just spend hours in the labbing on my build. There's a lot of overly complicated things that 2K doesn't tell you. Like, again, offensive consistency, and I'll fight anyone to death on it. It matters. How you build your player affects how much offensive consistency you have. And of course, that affects how often you can actually hit your shots. Yeah, you know, I don't know, little things like that, man, bother me, because if it was just about like stats, that would make more sense. But when there's like a secret offensive consistency, or at least that they showed you like, hey, the more you put into all these stats, the more this little stat over here goes up, that's gonna make your whole game better. Like, that would be cool. Just show us. Don't pretend. Don't make us have to buy 10, 20 builds like I did this year to figure that out. Anyways, man, I've been beating the dead horse, man. I'm talking too much. that's all the stuff I know right now about 2K24. Hope y'all liked the video. If you like it, please leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you want to see in the next video. Like the video. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm out.